Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good on this Sunday afternoon, cold Sunday afternoon. Gonna be John Deere. What's up, Randy and everybody? Hello, John Deere. Hope you're doing well. I hope everybody's doing well this morning or this afternoon. Kevin said, I'm here for you, brother. Welcome, Kevin. Thank you for coming in. Seven people, 8 thumbs up. Thank y'all. I do appreciate it. Appreciate even the ones that's watching in the background that don't want to give me credit. I still do appreciate you watching. Kevin said, I just ordered a Wendy's triple barbecue melt. Man, that sounds good. I just eat some barbecue chips. Flo Key says, hello, sir. How are you doing this evening? We love your show and we are bummed that we missed lunch today. It's okay. We do it every Sunday, so it's fine. Thank you for stopping in. We'll all get on the same schedule. I was a little bit late today trying to do some paperwork, but it's all good. Thank you. Lucy said, yo, SpongeBob. Hello, Lucy. Carlos, what's up, y'all? Pop's got the Christmas card, thanks, and it's awesome. Awesome. I'm glad that it got to you, Carlo. Brattle says, this dad is lost. Yeah, I'm lost. John Deere, sir, where's your kids and the dog? The dog's actually right behind me. If you'll look right over, well, it's right over this corner. He's there in the chair asleep. He's played hard today. Justin's watching a movie, and Randy's, I think Randy, he went home, and I think he's going to his wife's grandma. They eat on Sunday afternoon. Roscoe said, hey, man, that sounds good. Lucy says, just got home from church. Cool. Kevin says, I love barbecue, brother. It is good. Buggy said, yo, Pops, hello, Barbara. Hello, Bobby. Can't even talk. Buggy, how you doing, buddy? 14 people, 11 thumbs up. Flo Key says, watch the video you posted last night, too. The beginning is funny when you two were joking around and you had the towel ready to wipe your hands. Funny stuff. Randy and I really do feed off each other. We like to pick and cut up. Man, it's always something going on when we do that together. That's the whole part of it. We really enjoy it. Carlos said, what's up, Boggy? But that's what a lot of people say. We get together and that we really enjoy doing it. Jane says, hi, family. Hello, Jane. I'm hearing y'all sending some of that cold weather down here. I don't like it. Jane says, hi, Buggy. Lucy says, hi, Jane. And Jane says, hi, Carlo. Buggy says, I'm doing all right. The chest pains has completely left me and had some today broke a car again and laughed at Olivia. Jane said, hi, Lucy. The mighty F ounce says, imagine being so low IQ and uneducated that you still support Trump? Question mark. We do not do politics or religion, and whomever supports Trump's, that's their own business. And if they don't support them, that's their business. But thank you for the comment. Carlos says, hi, Jane. Annie says, do you like honey? I don't care for honey, but I use 2 tablespoons of honey in my coffee every morning. It helps with my allergies. Jane said, I'm sending shit your way. Please don't. Keep it. Foggy said, fun fact, Pops, Olivia cannot wake up a muscle car. Oh, man. Foggy says, yo, Carlo. 20 people in here, 15 thumbs up. Jane says, Olivia can't reach over the fender to wrench. John Deere says, hi, hello. See, Boggy says she can flood one though. Yeah, that's easy done. Carlos says, I'll be doing but in my toilet soon. All right. Boggy said, flooded the snot out of my charger. That happens. I got to get my orange truck dialed in. It's sitting there in the idle and throwing too much gas to it, and it's fouling plugs because I don't get it out and run it enough. I really need to get out and open it up. Lucy said, W speed. Buggy says, it dies. But hey, she's for it running. Got 22 people watching, 16 thumbs up. Y'all reach over and hit that like button, please. Lucy said, W's in the chat. Buggy said, it does happen, but hey, she's got it running. There you go. Flo Key says, so we didn't go live last night, but we have a plan to tonight. Got a little nervy last night and couldn't really figure out a good angle for the camera, but we think we got one now. Like you said, it'd be a little nerve-wracking at first, and that's what I keep doing, changing it around, trying to get the view of me in the room and the members' wall. You'll get it. Just stay with it. Don't give up. Lucy says, if I could like again, I would. I know y'all would. I appreciate it. I just like to remind people, in case people don't. Like I said, I look down, I see now it's 15 people in, 16 thumbs up, but a minute ago it was 22. I just kind of say it, maybe help me out a little bit. Maybe some people don't realize it counts or anything. I just try to get them to help me out. Rippin says, yo, what are your thoughts on Gabe Horn? Don't know nothing about. Oh, I know what you're trying to say. Rippin, come on, this is not the site for that. We're here for happy and positive thoughts. We're all in here for trying to be good. If you want to stay, you're welcome. But if you're going to talk about that, please find another live, please. Boggy said she was a bit smoky for a second. They'll do it. Flo Key says, if we go live tonight, it will probably be around 11 p.m. Boggy said, that's, and the Chevelle tried to break again. Oh, no. John Deere said, hit the like button, please. Flo Key says, thank you very much for the kind words of encouragement and the much appreciated advice. Hey, we're here for everybody. Like I said, this is one big family, and that's what we like to do. People like you come aboard, and y'all keep coming back, and it's just one big family. That's what we like. I never had a lot of friends, but now that I've got this YouTube channel, I've met a lot of good people, and I'm glad of it. Boggy said, touch my lucky thingy, please. Make me feel good. Daryl said, I just if ordering my Rivals ticket. Oh, you ordered yours. Cool. Adam said, Randy, Daryl. Boggy says, blew 3 spark plugs. Adam said, Boggy. Floki says, we love this family. Cool. Thank you. Boggy says, sure did. That's awesome. We got to get down, and I told Randy tonight we're really going to have to get on it and go ahead and do what we got to do. Which, we just got some tidying up to do to make sure everything's good. We did just order our 15-inch wheels, and our tires should be here tomorrow. Carlos said, what's up, Daryl? Lemon said, hello. Hello, Lemons. Jane said, hey, Daryl. Adam said, Floki. Jane said, hi. Hey, Adam. And Boggy said, hey, Adam. Adam said, Jane. Daryl said, Adam. Boggy, Big, and Jane. Carlos said, Grease, what's up? Whoop. Adam said, Toys. Boggy says, yo, Mac. Floki says, hey, Grease Spot, how are you doing this fine evening? John says, it froze. Daryl says, you can reuse your bio. I had to fight with it for 2 hours now. Like I said, I'll let Randy handle it. He knows what he does, but we are going to have to break on down and do it. John, there's okay if it fixed itself. Plummeting official. I always make sure my 8-year-old eats breakfast every day and hand them 2 cigarettes to smoke before school to help their focus because they have ADD. Snowflake parents give me a hard time, but like I said, whatever works for you. I don't really. It's not my opinion. That's you and yours. As long as you're not abusing your kids, that's you and yours. Not my business, I guess. I hope they're doing good in school. Daryl said they just went on sale at 5 tonight. I'll have to make sure I let Randy know. We talked about it, and I didn't even realize that was today's date. Gator laughed, and Daryl says, been setting up my account since 4. Boggy's laughing. Jane said, hey, Gator. Gator said, can't make that kind of shit up. I know, right? Daryl said, Gator. Boggy said, no, Gator, you can't. Gator says, Mac and Jane. Daryl said, what's up, Gator? Daryl says, I didn't either till we went to lunch and saw the date. Gator says, BDT, Boggy, hello, hello. Boggy says, laughing. Adam says, Gator, 14 people, 19 thumbs up. Bailey Roberts says, hello, my name is Bailey. I'm 25 years old. I am personally trying to make a YouTube channel on my favorite TV show. My interest in Lego, chess, trains, and ships. What about you, and what content do you do? We do our channels like on our life events, but we also we're big into burnouts and our car theme. Our YouTube, our lives are about just everybody getting together, having a good time, and for 2 hours every day, and just be able to get down and enjoy life, just relax. Gator said, Greasy, howdy. Jane says, can't imagine encouraging a 8-year-old to smoke. If they had ADD, send them to school with coffee. Works better. Let's see. Yeah, that was kind of stupid there, official. Daryl said, Adam, fix the tail light. All right. Boggy says, hey, I'm an idiot. What does BBT stand for? Carlos said, big boy, big boy toys, you stony buggy. Kevin said, I'm always hungry, brother. Lucy said, sorry, I'm back. Beetlejuice says, big booty twerk. Lucy said, back. Gator said, big boy toys. Jane said, lol, makes them horse. Makes them hose. Sorry. Buggy says, oh. Lucy says, I'm going to be doing homework while I watch. All right. You make sure you get your homework done. That's important. Buggy's laughing. Marlon says, what do you do? Just sit in your ass and read comments? That's exactly what I do. I'd look kind of funny standing on my head reading comments, wouldn't I? I mean, how else would you read them? You want me to stand up and read them? Or, I mean, what would you like? John Deere said, butternut cheeks, joking. Marlon says, that's some good humor. Buggy says, someone pay Beetlejuice. There you go. I stand on my head, all my blood rushed to my head. I look like an old pimple then, ready to pop. Lucy says, I don't get why people like Romeo and Juliet, it's so boring. Yeah, I don't either. Angel says, are you world #1 scumbag? Well, whatever you think. Marlon says, does your wife like doing this? No, my wife does not support the YouTube channel. She didn't want anything to do with it. Matter of fact, her exact words were, it was going to cost me my marriage. Floki said, lol, it was great. Want me to stand on my head? Lucy says, I don't understand Shakespeare writing. I didn't either, Lucy. Daryl said, I'll come in, and Adam left. Buggy says, that a problem for you, Marlon Starr? Question mark. Funk Congress says, did it? Well, let's say this. She might not be happy, but I'm not divorced. Marla says, so you're going to get a divorce? I never said that. I'm not divorced. Jane said, Adam came in and at the same time you did, but he did say something about your bio, Daryl. Lucy said, really? Your wife didn't like it? I'm happy you have a YouTube channel. Yes, Lucy, my wife does not support it whatsoever. Dutch says, do you play Redhead Redemption? Don't know, never heard the game. Steady says, good day, just running through. All right, Steady, appreciate you stopping in. Hit that like button while you're running through. Marla says, so you guys argue about it? I don't argue anymore. I'm done arguing. We've been married for 30 years, and I do not argue anymore. I think it's stupid to argue about it, and we go on about our business. Boggy says, I don't know how I feel about that, Pops. Ain't no way to feel about it. Like I said, everybody's got their own feelings. Mac McLaren says, will you be making... come on, Mac. You've asked that before, and you keep on, somebody end up deleting you, so let's don't do that. Marlon says, damn, I wish I could not argue. You're the one that's got to open your mouth and argue. If you don't argue, it's just like fire and air, oxygen. If you take the oxygen away, you don't have any fire. So don't argue. Don't speak. It's just words. I mean, if y'all were just on an argument, you end up just trying to say something to hurt each other, so it don't make no sense. And, once you say those words, you can't take them back. Anytime you tell somebody you hate them or you wish they were dead or they'd kill you themselves if it wasn't for damn jail time, when they tell you stuff like that, you don't forget it. So the best thing to do is don't argue about it. Anyway, let's find another subject, Marlon, please. Adam says, I'm here just getting tax stuff ready. Daryl said, different subject, Marlon. Jane said, geez, way too much personal questions. Well, I don't know why they're asking, but hey, I'll put it out there. I try not to talk about it, but for somebody who wants to come in and ask, I have no reason to, I have nothing to hide around here anymore. Boggy says, opinions are assholes. Some stink. Yep. Adam says, anyone offering to pay them, Daryl now's the chance to step up. A snowy man says, if we consist of atomic structures whose structures that can experience entanglement with something called spooky actions could entangle particles influence our behavior. I have no idea. A little too deep for me, Snowy Man. Lucy says, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be personal. Oh, you're fine, Lucy. Don't worry. It's no big deal. I don't let things bother me no more. Like I said, you'll see me get a little upset with certain things, but it's all okay. August says, and nobody likes them. My friend said, Patriots won. I hope that's who you were rooting for. Gator says, that was great, Snowman. Lol. August said, I've already got my tax stuff done. Dallas said, settle the basketball goat debate. Didn't know there was one. And he says, you got Rams or Bears? I don't care. Daryl said, I see King laying back there. Busy day for him. Yes, he's played hard today. He's probably back there sound asleep. Snowy said, thanks, Gator. Adam said, sounds like Snowy Man is watching too much Cheek and Chong movies. Flo Key says, go Bears. Lucy said, as long as the Cowboys didn't win, I'm happy, but they are already out, I think, for football. If you're worried about the Cowboys not winning makes you happy, you should be happy a lot. Adam said, go Packers. Gator says, I'm going to look up some complicated shit and get Randy to read it. No shit, that's what I think they come on here and see that they really try to get me on some stuff and then they do it. Sometimes it's funny. If I get to where I feel like I don't even understand what he wrote, but hey, I try to get it. I try to be respectful and read what they put. Adam said, lol, Gator. A Snowy Man said, Gator, particular entanglement. Lucy says, I like the joke. Ha ha ha. Let's see. Jimbo said, what do you feel like if we pan the camera to his left, we'll see the table where he makes pipe bombs? No, you pretty much open book. There's just a shelf over there, but okay. And Snowy Man said, Gator started with Richard Fleming's QED will freak you out. He's a well-respected physicist from Caltech. John Deere said, Randy, what do the crocodiles say to the other crocodile? This is cracking nuts. Gator says, I gotcha, Snow. I'll check it out. Augie said, Olivia, at this rate, just tries to rage bait you. Yeah, I know. There's several people that do that. I have a guy I work with that tries to do that. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I think that is one of the stupidest things anybody can do, to try to come in and just try to piss somebody off. Why don't people just let people be happy? That does not get... You try to have a good life and enjoy yourself and everybody be happy. I just do not understand why people want to do that. That rage baiting is, and be honest with you, Randy and Justin do it to each other all the time, and I get on their ass all the time about it. I just do not understand it. John Deere said hi, and Adam said, haha. You ain't got to worry about that. Have fun with that one, Randy. I can't even say it. You ain't even got to worry about me. Let's see. Nope, I'm not going to try it. Stu says, all I want to do is zoom and zoom and zoom and zoom, zoom, boom. I understand. Boggy said, at least she doesn't actually piss people off. She just annoys people because that's her job. 15 people, 25 thumbs up. Thank you. Pape says, are you in a better mood today? I am. My plasma cutter was giving me a little bit of fit today, and a lot of different noises at different times was going on, and that kind of got under my skin. But you know what? This old man took a little nap, and I feel a lot better. Boggy says, on a Monday pa. Lucy said, I'm so tired. Adam said, Pape. Daryl said, well, to settle the debate, the big block lacks 4 inches to fit. Then I guess we're going with the small block. Lucy said, but it's okay. Boggy says, oh, I can type it back in if you want me to. Pape say, that's good, sir. Adam says, Daryl, I have not had a chance to watch that. Lucy says, I only got 4 hours of sleep and I fell asleep at 3:30 a.m. About 4, maybe 5 hours is all I get every night. Daryl says, yep, it's back in. I was watching the steering column video today and I didn't get all the way through it. So I've still got to finish watching it. Boggy says, on a Mon APA, on a Mon APA. Daryl says, I didn't try, it just measured. Boggy, thank you. I'm surprised Jane didn't do that for me. Lucy said, how do you live off that little sleep every night? You're a superhero, SpongeBob. That's just, I'll be honest with you, I slept in real late today, and that's something I normally don't do. But if I lay in bed too long, I get sore and tired and hurting. So I get up, I can't stand for the be daylight me in bed. I don't like it. Daryl says, I had 2 member videos today, break and column. Boggy says, close enough. Thank you. Storm says Salem. Jane says, the Lord, Boggy wants you to be able to say that word. I know, I don't know what it means, but Daryl said, editing a 3rd now, and that's a nightmare. I got to do one. Randy was here and everything, and I didn't know if he was staying or going to Grandma's tonight, but I do have to figure out a video after this, so I'll be in and out on your premiere tonight. Pape said, Landman is a great show. I just finished the 2nd season. And now, if I'm going to watch a movie, I like to watch a movie and be done with it. Justin likes the seasons and the shows. I never care for shows. I like to watch a movie and be done with it, watch another one or something. Now, he did get me on Stranger Things, and we watch when they come back out and everything. That's something him and I have been doing for a while, and so when they come out, last time they come out, he come down here and watched them. So that's something me and him do together, but I don't watch a lot of shows. James said, it's not daylight, I'm ready for bed. I like to stay on the same schedule, summer or winter. because when it gets dark about 9 o'clock, that's what I like. Papa say Landman is a great show. I just finished to say. Oh, I just read that. Sorry. Libby says. Lucy said, no spoilers. Livia said, Boggy, we need to start Stranger Things. Jane says, she's blowing in like a storm. Here comes Olivia. Lucy says, I haven't finished Stranger Things. I think we're caught up. I don't think any more's come out because Justin hadn't said any more about watching them. But when they put more out, he usually comes down here and we watch them. Jane said, did you get R3 to watch Bruce? I did. Me, him, and Justin, after the video, after the live, we went down there and put it on, and we all three sat there and watched it. Die Hard, yes. I told him we also got to watch the other Die Hards and Lethal Weapon. I told him we got to watch that too. Olivia says, it ain't that hard to say, Pops. Olivia, it's not that hard to crank a car not flooded either, but sometimes you do it. Daryl said, Ghostly. 5083 said, Israel first or America first? How about the world? Let's all get along. Jane said, yay, what did he think? He seemed to like it. Both of them did. Lucy, and especially, for that era, he thought it was pretty good. Lucy says, no, I know I'm only on season 3. Buggy says, ha ha. James said, has he seen Lethal Weapon? No, he has not. Lucy said, Clark or T, Pops. Carlos says, I'm back. Addison's got to go, guys. Daughter put her car in a ditch. I got to go pull her out. Oh, I hope everything's good. You be safe out there, Adam. Papa say, oh, sometimes it's better to watch a movie but enjoy reading books. I've never been much of a reader, but I did get into reading books one time and I enjoyed it, but I don't read good enough for it. This is the most reading I've done in a long time. Daryl got that one. So Daryl said later, Adam. Jane said, what the hell? What's wrong with him? Where did you guys go wrong? I don't know. We used to go to the movies every Friday night, me and the 3 kids, and we would watch movies. And I didn't realize they hadn't seen those movies. James says, take care, Adam. Uh, 5083, find another channel, please. I don't think that was talked about in here, so find another channel. Thank you. John Deere says, TMI, Big Boy Toys. Olivia says, in my defense, Buggy never told me that there's a special way to tune on his car. It's way different from the New York Charger. It's not that hard, Olivia. All you got to do is do it. It's not that hard. Jeez. It's just a car. Lucy says, did you like Maze Runner? I thought it was okay. I did watch it, but I didn't get that enthused over it, but it was okay. Jane said, Die Hard and Lethal Weapon weren't that list when you weren't on that list when you went. No, you're right. Papa says, yeah, the only reason I started reading books was so I could read faster and better. Kevin says, you're a good man. Thank you. You too. Daryl says, I read YouTube. Well, I read y'all's comments. Jane said, Lord, Daryl. Daryl said, that's why it took me 2 hours to submit the application for the Burnout Rivals tonight. I got you, Daryl. It would me too. Kevin says, I'm a good man. Believe me, brother, I'm telling you. Olivia says, I read Pop Pop's brain. New Zealand said, afternoon, how you doing? Carlos says, the guy's delusional. He's starting to see the cross on his tablet. Lucy says, I recommended not reading Shakespeare. You don't have to worry about that, Lucy. I will not be reading Shakespeare. 16 people, 26 thumbs up. New Zealand said, I'm doing good. How are you? If I was doing any better, I'd have to sit on my hands to keep from waving at everybody. Jane said, Lucy, yeah, shakes. Carlos said, what's up, New Zealand? New Zealand said, dog looks happy in the background. I'm going to tell you, that dog not even been here. Well, he's been here 48 hours now. And he has really taken on this place. He seems to be very happy. He has really done good so far. Jane says Shakespeare is boring. Lucy said, because what the heck is this? Oh, thy dear sake, blah, blah, blah. I'm with you, Lucy. I am with you. Can't even see somebody talking like that. New Zealand says, hey, Big. Jane said, lots of thys and thous in that there book. Yes. Thou shall. Yeah, Yep. Somebody should rewrite that and use redneck language. Let's see. Olivia says Shakespeare. Olivia says Shakespeare is boring. Greek folk tell us 7 times better. New Zealand says I've got a Alaskan Malamute German Shepherd. She's 3, quite a big dog too. Yes, I've seen those. I know I'm mispronouncing it, but I know what you're talking about. Lucy said, for my final, I have to do a 7-page essay in Shakespeare English. Oh man, I feel sorry for you, Lucy. Popeye said, what's for dinner tonight? There's no, well, let's see, we got some leftover breakfast, but I'll probably leave that for lunch, to carry to lunch. So I'll probably just put a frozen dinner and eat a piece of pie. Daryl said, we just put our Alaskan Monty down for 2 months ago. Jane said, New Zealand, I've had 2 huskies, love them. Manuel says, yo, what's up? Never done projects. Hope you have a good day. I am, and I hope you are. Daryl said she started getting mean. New Zealand said, I hope it's not a frozen dinner again. It probably will be. I bought some more. I don't do, I don't want to go anywhere. Randy cooked, and I just don't want to eat that again tonight. I'll eat it tomorrow for lunch, so I'll probably just pop in a frozen dinner and be done with it. Carlos said, freedom of speech, Jacob. I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything offensive. It is freedom of speech, but, that's the reason I didn't read it all. We understand what you got and what you do, and let's see. Tough says, is that the Israel flag behind you? I always see it in. No, it's not. I'm about sure you know it's not. Popeye said frozen dinners get old. They do. It really does. I'm trying to get it set up. I want to make me a little place that I can cook some quick stuff. We got hamburgers and stuff, but I just don't feel like doing all that time. Hugh said, hello, Randy. Hello, Hugh. Jane said, hi, Hugh. Hugh said, Daryl. Hello, Jane. And Daryl's. Carlos said, what's up, Hugh? Daryl said, Hugh. Popeye said, hi, Jane. Hugh says, hello, Popeye. New Zealand said, for dinner last night after your stream, we had steaks, battered sausage, and eggs. That sounds good. See, I could do a grilled cheese or something like that, and I've done it. By the time I get off here, do a video, watch Daryl's premiere, I'm ready. I'm not ready to really care to cook anything. Hugh says, hello, Carlo. Jane says, hi, Popeye. John Deere said, what's up, Grand Pito Vic? Miss you going live. Rumple says, hello, Pops. Hello, Rumple. Popeye says, how are you, Jane? Rumple says, Jane, hello. Jane says, Rumple. Hugh says, you need a hot plate so you can cook quick stuff in a microwave for stupid fast stuff. Yeah, you're right. Jane says, I'm doing well, Jacob. Hugh says, hello, Lucy. Rumple says, Hugh, hello. Rumple says, Metal Art, hello. Hugh says, hello, Olivia, and hello, John Deere. New Zealand says, haha, sounds like me. I just want something fast for dinner last night after. That's why I got the dog.
You see how he was asleep?
He was sound asleep.
You see how he was? He was in one chair and then had his head dangling right there.
Let's see.
You know, this corner seat. That's obviously.
Let's see. New Zealand said, haha, sounds like me. Just wanted something fast for dinner last night after your stream.
Perfect.
If it wasn't for, I wouldn't eat it off. I wouldn't get sick. I just don't care. It's not something I want to do. Rumple says, big boys, hello. Jane says, how you been, Jason? And Daryl said, Rumple. Hugh says, hello, Rumple. Manuel said, who is Jane? Jane is the inventor of dirt, used to babysit Jesus. Buffet say, I cook hamburger, steak, gravy with corn and mashed potatoes. Man, you can always send some our way. Carlos said, how's Grandma Hugh? Bubbles said, hello. Hello, Bubbles. Hugh said, we were going to go live, but Grandma needs a nap, and now I don't feel like going out there. Maybe tomorrow. Lucy says, hi, Patrick. Talking to you.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey. And if y'all don't know, this is Carmen and Justin's girlfriend. Let's see. New Zealand says, holy shit, he's dead asleep. He was. Daryl said, good boy. John Deere said, the dog went nuts. Rumple said, what's the dog's name? It's Kane.
Kane.
And Livy says, wait, no, sorry, that's Squidward, sorry. Carlo said, what's up, Rumple? Hugh said, she's doing a little better. Thank you, Carlo. Horn by man said, my girlfriend threw a pillow at me last night. I scared her by mistake. Yeah. Jane said, his bark is like Great Dane next door. Hugh said, hello, Horn. Rumple said, yeah, it definitely sounds like Great Dane. Hugh said, my back is still mad tight, but getting better. Those get Grandma to rub some of that horse liniment on it. Daryl said, how's your back, Hugh? Hugh says, hello, Carmen. And hello, T. Mew.
Hello.
Daryl said Carmen, and Rumpel said Carmen. You said hello. Sorry if I got it wrong. You said still mad tight, but getting better, Daryl. Thank you. Jane said hi, Carmen. Lucy said, Squidward, your girlfriend is very pretty. I like her hair.
Who?
Well, she called you Squidward.
Who said that?
Lucy. Hugh says, I'm trying to walk and loosen it up. Jane said, hey, brat. Justin.
Who's that?
Jane. John Deere says, done a good job on the wall behind you. Thank you. Hugh said, she did last night and she helped especially with the heating pad. That's why I'm walking now. Yeah. Daryl said, Justin. Carlos said, I'm glad to see you getting better. You. Daryl said, be right back. Hugh said, it's hard to get up. That's why I'm standing. Hornby says, hi, everyone. Hello, Hornby. You said, thank you, Carlo. John Deere says, your dog thinks it's human and sitting in chairs. Yeah, he definitely takes a chair whichever one he wants to. Carlo says, hello, Carmen and Justin. Flo Key says, we are having a pretty simple dinner tonight. Mashed potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and chicken nuggets. There you go. I'll take the chicken nuggets and mashed potatoes. You can have the Brussels sprouts. Gator says, hi, Hornby. Train dude. New Zealand said I should send you a New Zealand flag. Hey, if you want to send it, go ahead. I'll put it up there. Let's see. Hugh says, hello, Gator. And Gator says, hey, Vic. Hugh says, I had mashed potatoes, broccoli, and biscuits. Hornby said, do you know what a fire sprinkler is?
No, one of those things is.
Yeah. Beck said, stuffed bell peppers made with deer and at my house tonight. All right. Mr. Soda said, Jesus is the Son of God. He died on the cross for our sins and was...
What you doing, boy? He's been there.
I can't think of it. I can't pronounce that word. I know what it means. 3 days later, believe in Jesus and you'll not die, but have eternal, everlasting life. Sorry. Thank you, Soda. We don't do politics or religion on here, but I did read your comment, and I do appreciate it. You said, hit the like button, peeps. Jane says, Beck, yum. Aaron said, hi. Marky said, hi, mate. Hello, Marky. Marky says, great channel. Thank you. New Zealand says, what car have you been working on lately? We were working on Fireball today, the 93 Camaro, trying to finish the exhaust on it so I can work on the power steering, but it seems like everything I tried to do today, this weekend's not went right. That's kind of why I was a little aggravated too, but I'll get it. Aaron says, any snow there? It snowed here. I got to see the snowflakes. It's gone. Carmen said it was covered in Greensboro, but I didn't see it. Hugh said, hello, Aaron. And Jane said, hi, Mark. Hi, Aaron. Aaron says, hi, Hugh. And Papa said, damn, we will reapers deer. Hugh said, it snowed here, 8 or 9 flakes. Aaron said, hi, Jane. Hugh said,
stop licking your butt cheeks, brother.
yo, she. John Deere said, check out all my songs, Grand Pinto Vic. Hugh said, Lowell. Hugh said, I will, Jacob. Aaron said, double tap that screen. Hugh said, that's what happened. Me, Randy.
What are you doing, boy?
Hugh said, happened. Yep. Margie says, love your wee dog. Thank you. Hornby says, is that a teddy bear praying for American? I respect your country. Thank you. We respect everybody else and yours too. Lucy said, where's Patrick? Randy. He went home and I think he's going to his in-laws for, they do thing every Sunday night and have supper. Hugh said, cause I pulled my back. Lord. Margaret said 3 degrees here in Northern Ireland. Whoo, you can keep that too, please. Jane said, big old deer got hit last night, 2 cars in front of me. Whoo, good thing you didn't hit that. Hugh said, that is a pretty chihuahua behind you. I mean, he ate one. There you go. New Zealand said, I'll swap. You can have our heat and wind. I'll take your snow. I'll do it. I'll take it in a heartbeat. Olivia says, oh, boy, you said going to Pop Pops has some errands to run. All right, see ya. Thank y'all for, thank you, Boggy, for coming in. Jane said, Mark is at that 3 Celsius. Lucy said, do you know what's funny? The first thing I ever said on this channel was, has anyone ever told you you look like SpongeBob? Because you do, and it's because you were happy and nice and you had a yellow shirt on. Margie says, hey, Jane, I try to be nice to everybody, Lucy. Hornby says, when the dog farts and it looks at you like you did something. Yeah, he did that to me. Now, see, I don't know who's doing it, him or Randy. They both smell pretty bad. Randy thinks that's so funny. John Deere says, my brother's dog was giving salmon treats. I was wondering whenever I had a dog give him salmon treats and gas up the whole house. My brother's dog does that every time we go for Christmas. Oh, man. You know something, I think, wasn't those treats that they sent him with, wasn't that some type of a fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent some treats with him with some type of fish or something. Jane said it's 5 Celsius here. Noah says, love the room, sign up. Yes, please sign up. I'll get your name ordered as soon as you sign up. Margaret said, where are you, Jane? Jane says, Ohio, U.S. Larry says, hey. Hello, Larry. 18 people, 30 thumbs up. Thank y'all. New Zealand says, my God, my dog farts are terrible. Don't give them OFA dog treats. You'll regret it. Olivia said, I wonder what would happen if we stuck a hella plant in the eclipse. I wonder if it would even fit. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can make it happen. You know, Cletus has got that, what was that little car?
The Spark?
Spark. And it's got the 454 in it. Big block. Sean says, is Jenga legal in the U.S.?
Is what?
Jenga, ain't that the game that you pull blocks out of?
Is it
Ganja?
Yeah, that's the little block one.
How would that be legal?
That's what?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
it's the game.
Yeah, it's legal. It's a game that, as far as I know.
Unless if it's something different for you guys.
Sean said hi, and then Olivia said, is that Carmen? Yes, that is.
Careful, she's a dirty woman.
Let's see. Jane says, many states have legal marijuana.
Huh?
Oh, is that what they're asking? Then no, it's not legal. If marijuana is not legal here, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah,
New Zealand said, have you seen Cletus's V8 limo? Yeah, he just blowed it up doing that. I haven't seen it personally, no. But I know he just blowed it up doing that burnout in memory of.
we talked about it before. I know what you're talking about. Died in the plane.
Yeah. Bit. I'll think of it in a minute. I just lost that train of thought. Olivia says, hey. John Deere said, Jane, don't get too high, jokey. Let's see, it's Nashu99 says, can you try a backflip today, my guy? No, I would like to make it to tomorrow. I'm not going to be doing no backflip. Olivia says, now I need to go to Google. Okay. New Zealand says the video is wicked. Who'd love to drive a V8 limo? Yeah, especially that one. That'd be cool.
Have you seen those V12 hearses?
Huh?
1996.
A hearse?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think, yeah.
I don't want one, but cool. Daryl says, I'm back. Well, hello, Daryl. I was going to make a joke and say, hello, I'm back. 18 people, 30 thumbs up. Jane said, those Hummer limos are really cool. Yeah. Which I've never been in a limo. But I drove a Hummer one time. We were going to buy one. And we never did. I'd still like to have one. But Justin absolutely hates Jeeps and Hummers. I thought he ought to got. I thought that's what we should have got him with the Jeep. John Deere said, "Memory of Greg Biffy." That's right, John Deere. I drew a blank there. Thank you. New Zealand said, "There's a V8 swap Toyota Hilux burnout. You need to check it out with those build. Is it the burgundy one? If it's the burgundy one, I have seen it. I haven't seen it personally, but I have seen videos of the burnout, and I do like it. That when we were there, wasn't there a Toyota truck that was swapped like that?
Was it twin turbo?
I don't know. I just know the motor was out the top. I'm not sure. But yes, those Australian guys, they can really do it to it. Jane said, saw a couple out west, was worried about how them going around corners. Sean says, I am in the war in Russia army. War is kill us. There are some veterans U.S. soldiers fighting against us. I'm sorry. I didn't send them. I have no idea why they're there. New Zealand said nothing wrong with the Jeep. Uncle Charles said, what's this channel about? Well, this live is just where we come in here and have a good time. The channel itself is our everyday life, and we do burnouts and we work at the shop, and pretty much whatever we do, we put out there. We're pretty much of an open book. We got two burnout cars, and we got one that we're going to turn into we would like to turn into a drift car. If we don't turn it into a burnout car for Justin, depends on how things play out of what we would like to get Justin into it, and all three of us have burnout cars. Uncle Charles said hi. Daryl said, I love my Hummer. Daryl says, very comfortable and handles great. I know when I drove one, I really liked it, and I really want to drive a big one. I guess you call it H1, whatever. I really want to drive one of those. They say that they take up the whole road. Jane said, Shaw, I will pray for your safety. We can tell you like you're a Hummer, Daryl. Honey, fight me, said Justin, don't need a burnout car. He needs beer. No.
Where'd that go?
I don't know what he does when I'm not around, but we don't drink, so I hope he stays with that tradition. But you can keep your beer as far as I'm concerned. We don't do that, or I don't. Daryl said, why is that, Jane? Jane said, because you talk it up, Daryl, much more than your black truck. He does talk about his Hummer a little more than his black truck. Let's see, free beer says, how's my name now? If that's what hey, it's awesome.
Oh,
Daryl said, same size as my Hummer, Randy, but H1 has no amenities. Yeah. I actually was looking into buying a Hummer, the one with the bed on the back. I was going to use it to pull my camper. And they said it would be, I thought being as the way it was, it would be handle more than my dually, but I would be stepping down, so I did not get it. That was the reason we didn't get that particular one, because we needed a little bigger truck to pull the campers. Daryl said, well, the black truck has been broke down for a while now. Oh, because of that steering thing you had to go wrong with it or something? James said, what's wrong with the truck? Livy says, who wants to go with me to buy a Eclipse? Sean said, what is your specialty? I mean, we do it all here. We do sell tires, wheels, tires. We dabble in exhaust. Hopefully, in the soon, we'll be doing spray on bed liners. I do have the machine, but as far as specialty, just living life, I guess. Carlos said, whoa, Black Betty, yeah. Daryl said it has the new truck junk, Jane, stupid electrical. New Zealand said, check out Cranky V8 Holden build in Aussie tire trieds. They only last a few seconds. It's crazy burnouts. Yes, I love to watch the Australians do burnouts. That's the reason I want to go to Summer Nats this year at the Freedom Factory. Those guys are coming here at the Freedom Factory. I really want to go to it. Levy says, we're fitting a hello plant in a 97 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Sean said, do you know about Soviet cars? Not too much.
Another one that hit.
John Deere says, I like it when the cars have no electrical, all American gas powered, no electrical stuff. Guts? Yes, I would too. I wish they would start building them again, just a plain truck. Olivia's got her face out there 3 times. Jane said, yeah, I was complaining about vehicles with too many bells and whistles. They always break. John Deere says, are you going to film at Cletus thing you're talking about? Yes. I did last year when we went, and I will again this year. I want to do things a little bit different, but when I did my burnout last year, my 360 was on top of my car. Daryl said, it is 2-minute burnout, Randy. Cletus was warning. Yeah, that's what it was last year. The year before it was 3 minutes, and then last year it was 2 minutes. And I think if you blowed your tires under a minute, you were disqualified, because I guess they think that you don't have good enough tires if you blow them out in under a minute. I think that's the way it was. Navy says, America, salute. Thank you. Olivia says, oh, Daryl. Memory, the fisherman, says Cletus McFarland is a awesome person. Jane says, hi, Navy Marine. Memory says, hi, everyone. Hello, Memory. Olivia says, want to do some major custom fab work. He could do it. Navy says, howdy, Jane. Jane says, hi, Memory. Daryl said, always, go sleep. New Zealand said, we don't build Ford and Holden here in Australia anymore. Pretty sure the new ones come from China now. Parts are still available for most cars. Navy says, to all American patriots, I hereby salute you all. Right back at you. Thank you. Daryl says, looks like I'm going to be doing a 16-foot side out on my friend's tour bus. Cool. You still thinking about doing it on your trailer too, aren't you, Daryl? John Deere said, Cletus McFarland would say, hell yeah, brother. I love Cletus' show, YouTube. Yep. Olivia said, you think you can fit a big block 426 Hemi crate into an Eclipse? Now I will tell you this: after I blowed my car up, 2 different times, Cletus used our car out there for advertising for the next event. I thought that was cool. Sean says, "Are you smoke? We have not cigarettes now. This is very hard for us. We do not smoke." Navy says, "And most importantly, I hereby salute all my rebels, rednecks, worldwide, forever." Right back at you. Thank you. Daryl says, "I'm not sure right now, Randy. It wouldn't work, Ghostin." New Zealand said LS1 swap the Eclipse. Olivia says, "It will work. Trust. Blake says, "I'm going to a movie date tomorrow. Any tips?"
Fart.
Just be yourself.
Let it all out.
16 people, 32 thumbs up.
Yeah, fart. Gotta get it out. The first time I ever met her, I'm pretty sure I farted.
That's not funny
I'm not
at all. See, he wants to be like Randy and do that stupid shit.
Well, I mean, there's no point in just sitting there and waiting for it.
Navy says, "If you're not redneck enough, you're not important." Just kidding. Or am I? Usually said, "Just be yourself." Blake said, "Ha ha ha." Well, one thing's for sure, even right now, in front of all y'all, if I had to, I'd just tell y'all, it sounded like somebody pulled up, I'd walk outside and do it. It's called respect. I'll respect my elders. John Deere says, "I'm not a redneck, but I'm a country. Salute you back." Daryl says, "Well, Ghostly, bring the parts and pocket of money and you'll make it happen." That's right. Daryl says, "I'll probably sleep in the truck this year, Randy, or Hummer." Well, if I get it worked out, that 53-foot trailer will be there. Between the 53-foot trailer and Vivo, you'll have a place to sleep. Navy says, be myself. Well, I'm definitely being the very best POS I can be. There you go. John Deere says, "Hit the like button, guys." Daryl says, "Not enough time to build the car and trailer by April." I do understand that. I'm going to have to get on the trailer or buy some ramps so I can at least get the cars in the trailer. New Zealand said, U.S. oldies learned respect from a child. Most kids nowadays don't know what that is called. No, when I was a child, I was taught to respect my elders, and one day I would get there. Now I'm there, and the young ones now think that it's got to be handed to them, and they want to run all over you, like especially out at work. That really gets to me. I feel like it's my turn, and there they are thinking I need to step back down and let the young ones do the jobs and stuff. That bothers me a lot. Olivia says, "There muggeth the enough pats to her to do it actually, and as for the money, it will go into the elephant plant and maybe you pocket if I genuinely get serious." Daryl says, "I appreciate that." Navy said, "Huge shout out to all the sensitive people crying nowadays." There you go. New Zealand said, "I'm 39. Cool." Sean said, "Are soldiers in America paid a lot?" I have no idea. I don't think they're paid a lot, but I really don't know, to be honest with you. John Deere said, "This coming up Saturday I'll be 34, January 24th, 1992. New Zealand said, "That's the same way I was brought up. Respect your elders or you will regret being disrespectful." My mama used to tell me she'd knock me halfway across the room, and honestly I thought she'd lie to me and knock me all the way across the room, so I didn't test it. Navy said, "The people that always receive my respect our soldiers because they deserve it, no questions. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they doing something that not everybody does, but they can be assholes too. So don't get me wrong. I respect them, their service, but some of them are, as you just said, POSs too. Olivia said, "Hey, have decent pay. It's better than most jobs here in America." Dave said, "Yeah, true." Sean says, "How old are you?" I'm 56.
Cool.
Jane said, "So, can cops?" I agree, Jane. If you can fight for your country and be respected, you ought to be respected for holding up the law too. Flo Key says, "I have to go for a second, but I should be back before you are done. But if not, have a great rest of your evening. Much love." Thank you, Flo Keys. I appreciate it. Have a good one. New Zealand said, "Juggler Corps was my mom's way telling us you messed up." Mine just had to look at me. I didn't question it. Now they'd look at my sister and she'd say, "What are you looking at me for?" No, I didn't play that game. Carlos says, "I'm 48 on September the 13th.
Good Lord.
Navy said, "The people I really hate are doing stolen valor." What is that?
It's when they dress up to be acting like they were in the army.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like that either.
We're like
In
I
military.
think stolen valor is also if you falsely dress up as their cop. No,
Yeah.
that's illegal. That's a different thing. It's illegal.
Also, even if you just say you're in the military.
Yeah.
And you're not, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I also, now, on the other hand, I also have a problem with people that are out there that was in the military. If you're hurt and you're disabled, I'm all for helping you. But if you're out there just beating the system and claiming disability and getting money and you can do the same job I can do, I got a problem with that.
That's fine.
Let's see. Jane says, "I meant cops can be full of themselves." Oh yes, that is true. It's called the human era. There's assholes no matter where you at. Boggy says, "Quit messing with my Helivant. I got that for and square." David says, "When someone is pretending to be military." Yes, that's what Justin was just saying. Sean says, Do you have TikTok?" Yes. New Zealand says, "Yeah, I don't do much on it. We do plan on trying to. I was going to get it where Randy or Justin One would help us out and put some of our shorts off of YouTube onto TikTok, but we haven't sat down and planned it out." New Zealand says, "I'm 40 June the 16th. My daughter is 7 December 16th. God, I'm old. Yeah, I know what you mean." Daryl says, "Big, you're 48 and still announcing that you have to poo."
You know what, right?
You said pretending is called stolen paper. Yeah, that's what Justin was saying. Jane said, "New Zealand, my oldest granddaughter is 20. You said stolen paper can get you hurt in America." Huh?
Valor.
Valor. I'm sorry. What did I say? Vapor?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Boggy said fair and square. Carlos said, "Yep. Freedom of speech, Daryl." Reaper said, "Meow." Hello, Reaper. Navy says, "I myself, I'm not military. My family and friends are so I understand everything you're saying. I have deep respect for the military, and anyone who disrespects them get really short in my fuse." I agree with you. What did Adam have to say here? Yep, you picked the wrong live, Adam.
What do you say?
Talking about the Charlie.
Good Lord.
Let's see. Hugh says, Charlie. Hugh said Charlie Kirk got the best present ever. He is with Jesus. Jane said, "Hey, Reaper." Reaper said, Who Who's with you tonight, bald man? I got Justin and his girlfriend Carmen.
She got something in front of you.
18 people, 33 thumbs up. New Zealand said stolen valor. How you say it? Huh?
Valor.
Valor. Sorry. Here we'll get beaten up by the locals if left in a ditch. Here we take it very serious.
I think everybody
Good.
does. They should.
They should. Well, you said, Hugh, no religion, politics comments. They got a video out there where some guy that was dressed up in military and act like he was, and he just about got his ass beat. They made him take that stuff off right there on, which I think it was kind of a show too because the cameras was rolling, but it's still not right. Navy said, I wish I could take the pain of every American soldier away from them because every time I see their eyes, it breaks my heart because I can see the pain in their eyes. I do understand. Reaper said, so I visited the station, but I was in handcuffs. Oh no. You said right, Boggy. It was a return of a ridiculous comment is all. I think he's just messing with you. Jane said, now what, Reaper? Boggy says, I'm just pulling your leg.
No. Why are you looking at Snapchat stuff?
Why are you being nosy?
Well, she's showing
Why are you
me.
being nosy?
See, I'm trying to show him something, but he always has something to say.
He's like his brother.
Not much better than mine.
New Zealand said if the cops catch you here, they will beat you and drag you to jail and beat you again. I've seen it happen firsthand. Boggy said, does come off like Adams? Hugh says, I know, brother. Boggy's laughing. I think my like button's broke. It's still showing 33.
What's up?
I've seen a couple people come in. Carlos said, Daryl, you know what tobacco smoking does to your health, but you continue to smoke.
What? Who's saying that to who?
We're not going to,
No need to
call-
argue at each other.
we're not going to call out, and I think it was just kind of a joke, Carlo, because you're always saying that, and you said something about your age. Well, we're not going to try to call each other out like that. Which reminds me of something else. The other day I woke up to somebody putting stuff on my channel about another live. Everybody keep their live. If it's not in this channel, keep your comments to their own channels. And if you got a problem with somebody, take it up with them. Don't take it out on here. Reaper says doing burnouts in the judge don't help anything. Olivia said stop arguing. I'm with you, Olivia. That's right. Jane said you said Boggy was pulling your leg. Wanted to know if it comes off like Adams. Now I got it. I didn't understand what you meant when you said it. Oh, what we got here? This is a long. How about pet? I'll go right down to pet. No, I'm not. I'm not even going to try to read it. I don't know. Wait a minute. Let me try something. Oh, never mind. I will. It was in a different language. My bad. Pat said, Happy New Year 2026 from France. YouTuber Lolo, NATO, France Classic, and Sports Cars. France needs subscribers. Yes, we all do too. Anybody want to help him out, you jump over there and help whatever that long word's supposed to be. Start with Pat. Thank you. Navy said, I'm visiting my cousin's gravestone right now, and he was in the Navy, but I feel horrible because I couldn't save him from himself. Ooh. New Zealand said, quit smoking cigarettes 3 months ago. Now, so glad I stopped. Hugh said, think the like button is a curse. No one wants to hit it. I know, right? Hugh said, right channel specs. Hugh said, Good. And you? Kevin said, I have your back, brother. Thank you. New Zealand said, stop smoking. More money for burnout cars. There you go.
Exactly.
James said, Navy Marine, I'm sorry for your loss. Carlos says, quit smoking 6 years ago. New Zealand smoked for over 20 years. You said, I stopped for a 2.5 years, and a friend and a beer said, hey, you want a drag? I said, sure. It's just a drag. Oops. 3 years later, tried to quit again. Reaper said, it wasn't a fun time because I know everyone in the station and they took the judge, but all Annabelle could do is laugh. I don't blame her. I'd have laughed at you too. Boggy says, all right, I got to run before my car chokes and I have to get her awake again. All right. See you, Boggy. Thanks for stopping in. Hugh said, hello, Reaper and Annabelle. Jane says, hi, bye, Boggy. Olivia said, stupid Charger. It's just a car. It's so easy to crank. Hugh said, Reaper, dang phone. Navy says, I've already hit the like button. I can't like it anymore. Okay, I accept it. Twisted said, good evening, everyone. Hello, Dennis. New Zealand said, big, smoked most of my life. Best choice to stop, more money to burn out cars and off-roading. Jane said, hey, Dennis. Hugh said, one is too many and thousands is never enough. Navy said, thanks, Jane, for your support. Dennis said, Jane. Hugh said, hello, Twisted. Twisted said, Hugh, how are you doing? Daryl said, 48 minutes tonight. Olivia said, it is not easy. Even Boggy has trouble with it sometimes. Annie says, do you drink a lot of whole milk? No. I eat it in cereal. That's about it. Or I dip my cookies in it. Ask Daryl. Me and Daryl was eating one time. He was in Ohio and I was here and I spilt my milk on my keyboard. I had to go buy a new keyboard.
Wait,
Twisted,
huh? Keyboard keep working the whole time?
Huh?
Didn't it keep working?
No, it quit working, but this is it. When it messed up, we ordered a new one. It's over in the box somewhere.
Yeah.
And I put this one back on. It's been working. Let's see.
I suppose. As long as it works.
Twisted said, Daryl, Hugh says, I've hit it 7 times, especially it says, yep, nope, should it light up? There you go. Navy said, but I'm going to keep hitting it even if my fingers start bleeding. Well, just don't take the thumbs up down away. Hugh said, good, brother, how are you doing? Daryl said, well, it's 1,000 horsepower, so yeah, it's fun to start. Annie says, I drink a lot of whole milk. Reaper said, I got off with a warning and about 4 hours of holding cell. I guess payback sucks. Carlos says, my money goes to my hobby, New Zealand high rev nitro engine power RC cars. New Zealand says, what's your thoughts on the new electric Mustang? I think it's stupid. I do not like it. And he says, I found it easy to start. It's easy. It's just so easy. Good gosh. Daryl said,
Unless if you don't have a starter.
Daryl says, it dried out eventually, Dennis. And then Jane says, hi, Annie. Daryl says, hi, Annie. And Annie says, I'm good. Michael says, I like beans, barbecue beans with bacon. Hugh says, make sure it lights up when y'all quit. There you go. Michael says, I like cornbread and beans. Navy said, I'll do my best, brother, but I can't make any promises. Michael says, I like bald eagles. Jane said, no electric cars here, lol. Olivia says, Annie, you don't even know what we're talking about. Navy said, electric cars are just another form of government oversight. They can shut down your car with a flick of a switch. Exactly. Reaper says, man, I got to get to work and I don't want to. And he said, yes, I do. Hughes says, batteries are for tips only.
For what only?
Toys. He said tips was toys. Batteries are for toys only. And he said, you're talking about Nick's charger. Jane said, take care, Reaper. Michael says, I like hot dog water and lemons. Oh, that's nasty. Even sounds nasty. And he says, I like fried salmon sandwich. Hugh says, have an awesome night, Reaper. Hugh says, they are coming with black boxes now like planes. Daryl says, Randy, what are you going to do with Kane during rivals? I'll probably take him with me. We'll put him in the 53-foot trailer. I'll probably, like I said,
ride down in the cab.
Yeah, he can get right. I'm gonna try to see how when we go back to dump these tires. I'm gonna see if he'll ride in the Vivo.
I'm sure you can get up in there.
Oops. Let's see. Reaper said, well, I got about an hour and a half before work. Hugh says, my autocorrect is more corrupt than my mind. Navy said, batteries are for toys. That helps your wife out. John Deere said, Justin hiding tonight.
No, I'm just in the corner. I can't get out.
Michael Johnson, you're at the wrong channel, buddy. Please find another channel. Nickel Pony said, evening pots, mods, members, and young lady in the back. Headed back from a day trip to see the family back in Louisiana. New Zealand said they want to make everything electric when the trucks have been trying out, but they don't last, especially with the environment we have. Their charge doesn't last long enough for big hills here. John Deere said, Grand, autocorrect is more corrupt than the government. Ha ha. You said, hello, Nick. Jane says, hi, Nick. And Annie says, that's easy. Choke the air sucker thingy and turn the key 3 or 4 times and it dies. Go keep your foot on the clutch too. Yeah, it's easy. Hugh says, right, Jacob. Daryl said, nice. Nickel Pony says, Miss Jane and Gran. And he said, who's the lady? That's actually Justin's girlfriend. Daryl said, that's Carmen. Olivia says, shut up, Annie. I know that now. It's so easy. Gosh. Navy says, man down in the corner, send back up. Reaper says, did I tell y'all where I work now? Yeah, you set up a bar. Jane said, lol, air sucker thingy. Annie, is that a technical term? New Zealand said, battery, toys, keep the wife happy and off your back. Carlos says, anyway, guys, have to have my depot this morning. Wish me luck. Good luck, Carlo. Thank you for stopping in. Hugh said, Andy, 30,000 price to charge out the double D batteries is crazy. Change out. Daryl says, Nick. Jane said, Reaper, you still bouncing in the bar, gay bar? Hugh said, Jane, roll on the floor, laugh my ass off, Jane. Reaper said, it's not a gay bar, Jane. Annabelle would kill me. Annie said, close enough, Jane. I'm not a car person. You said, maybe. Nickel Pony said, if there's anyone on the fence about possibly quitting your diet, go to Louisiana, the place where diets go to die. You said, maybe. Jane said, well, it depends on if it's a male or female gay bar. New Zealand said, Reaper, up the bum, no babies. Damn. 12 people, 36 thumbs up. You said North Carolina kills them diets too. Hey, you hit the power button on that. Oh, never mind. Go ahead. I didn't know you had your hands full. Reaper said, I'm going to quit my job now. Straighten up and go back to being a police officer. That way you're on this side of the jail cell.
Shut up.
Jane said, New Zealand Reaper's girl is pregnant too late. What's playing out there?
Oh, it's not that. It's the TV in there.
Oh,
For some reason, it's playing like calming music. Probably because I didn't turn off the TV.
yeah, probably.
Sorry
You
about
said, yeah, too late. Lord. Mr. Nighty says, I'm back for only a little bit. Stone Cody. All right, thank you. Reaper said, Bald man, the dog is tired.
that. Yeah.
He played hard. He did. He has really enjoyed himself. New Zealand said, Jane, he needs to spend more time at the, I believe it's gay bar.
What?
They're making fun of Reaper right now.
What do you mean?
He works at a bar now instead of being a cop, and they're saying it's a gay bar. Nah, Mr. Nice.
Hey, look at that.
No, King. No, sir.
Hey, man, if you need it cleaned up, man. I'll get that for you real
Mr.
quick.
Nice said, where's the big, strong, and other weak man in the pinky shirt? Well, there's the pinky shirt man.
They call me weak.
Call you what?
And Randy,
Weak?
weak. And Randy went to his in-laws for a Sunday dinner. Kevin says, UD. Hugh says, Boggy, get tired, baby comes. Not Boggy. Doggy gets tired, baby comes. Jane said, Daryl, you keep you two playing all night at the shop. I've seen TV on a lot. You said woof woof. Lotus said hello, Lotus. Now you're gonna have to pick that up.
Yeah.
I don't want that mess all at the bottom of my coolers. And yeah, look at her.
Over there.
There was another rag.
Let's see.
Probably.
I was at Lotus. Said Lou. Hugh said King looks wore out. Busy day. Yeah, he's played pretty hard here today. John Deere said meow meow. New Zealand said someone send Reaper a grim suit for his gay bar adventures. Reaper said, I can't believe y'all, I'm going to go now. Cry. Mr. Nighty said, there's a new lady in the back today. Yeah, that's Chester's girlfriend. Lotus said, what's
I wouldn't
up,
say
you?
lady.
Huh?
I wouldn't say lady.
Now, brown cow. Let's see. Daryl said, R3 is watching. He is always watching. Hugh said, hello, Lotus. Lotus says, sup, Reaper. Kevin says, you are my inspiration.
You are my sunshine.
Mr. Knight said, what advice can you give me to make my first wife stop jealous of my second wife? I'm going to tell you to go get your head examined for having two wives. Hugh says, woof woof, Kane. Kane says, I'm too tired. Daryl said, all three TVs play 24/7. Jane. Lotus said, Daryl, what's up? Jane, hello, Jane. Jane says, hey, Lotus. Hugh says, roll on the floor, laugh my ass off, Reaper. Jane said, Daryl, I only see the one.
Yeah.
Mr. Naughty said, the lady is getting drunk in the back. I doubt it. I mean, like I said, she's drinking a Yoo-Hoo and we don't drink. Daryl said, I know, it's only one in view. Daryl said, Lotus. Lewis Moores. Hello, Lewis Moores. Hello, brother. How you doing, buddy? Olivia says, I've got to go. Have fun with Annie, y'all. See you, Olivia. Good luck on trying to start the car. It's very easy. Have a good one, Olivia.
Just like
Hugh said, hello, Lewis. Hugh said, yo. Hugh said, I'm surprised you can't hear the air compressor. Mine cuts in so much. Got a air leak somewhere. I can't bother finding it. We turn ours off because we've got this building was built in 47. Some of the airlines are in the concrete. It's so damn aggravating. We just turn it off when we're not using it. You said later, Olivia. Daryl said Lewis. Lewis says hello, brothers. Vic. Mr. Knight says Stone Cold. You used to always pop beers in wrestling. You don't drink anymore. Nope, wrong guy. But no, I don't drink. Hugh said starting fluid and a lighter will light off. Lewis says, hello, Randy. Hello, buddy. Code 4 said, are these people in your basement of your own free will? Hey, don't say nothing about that. They're there for props. Come on over and I'll show you around. New Zealand says I got to keep mine on. I used to pressure the water in my house. Oh, okay. Reaper says, all right, y'all, I'm going to head to work at a normal bar. Have a good rest of your night, Bald Man, Younger Peanut Gallery, and Miss Younger Peanut Gallery. And remember, keep it silly. See you, Reaper. Thanks for stopping in. Don't get too fruity there. Daryl said, I ran PEX lines for mine, Randy. Best decision because it keeps moisture down and easy to get. I probably need to. It is in the plan, but like I said, right now we got way too much trying to. We will work on that one step at a time, but we do plan on doing something like that. And I want airlines through the building that retract in and out. Huh?
You know what the she just asked?
Some
She
people
goes,
don't.
is it okay to give them human food?
Well,
some people don't like giving their animals human food.
Some people don't. He's here. He eats what we do, I guess.
Come here, Ken.
Let's
The nurse.
see.
Sit.
New Zealand said fly spray
You can make
and a lighter works well. Eddie says I'll keep an eye on the children for you, Olivia. Hugh said roll on the ground, laugh my ass off. We don't talk about the basement. Mr. Knight said these dogs is always awake. Jane says take care, Reaper. Reaper says y'all are mean. Lewis said Daryl Art, hello brother. You said, we are Reaper. I keep my comments to myself. Roself. You said, ladies present. Jane said, Lowell, only because we like you, Reaper. If we didn't, we wouldn't be mean. Mr. Lonnie says, I don't drink the pink. I don't drinky the pinky. Do you smoke the jokey? No. New Zealand says, I don't recommend retracting airlines at all. I don't like airlines on the floor. I like them to be pulled down and pulled back up. I put them in my building at the shop, at the house before we come here. I like them. That way I can always put them right back up. Code says, I just reconsider because there is a big angry dog there and they don't look happy. Just asking, please send them free. Please set them free. Well, when I set them free earlier, it was snowing and they said, shit, I get 3 meals right here. I'll go right back in. They come in and sit down. Ask for seconds.
people in the basement.
Reaper said, I know y'all the best part of my day. Mr. Naughty says, how many hours do you sleep? 4, maybe 5. That's about the tops.
6.
Mr. Naughty said, it is 12:40 a.m. in the UK and I have to wake up at 7 for worky. Should I go to sleepy? That depends on you be, however you feel. John Deere said, dog's awake. And he says, how are you, Pops, honey? Reaper says, y'all have a good night. New Zealand said, I had I had plenty of leaks with retractable airlines, unfortunately, so I have a solid airline. Just plug the air hose in when I can. Now I want, like I said, I want the lines to go to the retractable unit and come in and out right there so I can get to them. Mike says, hello, Mike. Hugh says, later, Reaper. Jane says, look at the killer dog. Hugh said, Reaper. Mr. Knight says, I will stay awake for ability then, did he? Daryl said, Kane gets bacon, eggs, and pancakes when he's not leaving. He's spoiled already. Yeah. Annie says, how are you, Pops? I'm great. Hope you are. Mike says, hi, Carmen. Good to see you. Daryl says, Mike. Hugh says, Lowell, Daryl. New Zealand said, Reaper, enjoy your gay bar. Mr. Nutty says, you only sleep 4 hours. Do you nap in the day?
Yes.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
When I'm on lunch, I might just, 15 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Now, before I come up here, before I had to get the truck, I did kind of rest my eyes for about 3 or 4 minutes. Or half a movie. I don't really know which one it was. Let's see. Jane said, hi, Mike. And Grant said, Hugh says, it's bacon. Mike says, hey, hi, Daryl. Daryl says, I'd like hose reels all with 50-foot hose from Sibley. That's what I want. Hugh said, hello, Mike. And he says, hey, Mac, how are you? And you too, Long Wrench, honey. Mike says, hello, Jane. Hello, Hugh. Jane says, Kane gets bacon and eggs when no one is looking. He tried, that's for sure. This was our first Sunday breakfast with him. We definitely got to watch him. He about got our sausage. Annie says, Reaper works at a gay bar. I think he works at a bar. Everybody else said it was gay.
It is gay.
But Hugh says, a few dozen. New Zealand said, nothing wrong with a lunch break nap. Mr. Knight says, will you start watching boxing? There is a new boxer, Putin, who looks like next best heavyweight. Nope. I think boxing is one of the stupidest sports out there. I do not see no reason 2 guys to get in the ring try to beat the shit out of each other. Hugh said, a few dozens working. Dozens working. Mike says, hello, Annie. Hugh says, a few dozens workies. Hugh says, dang phone. Annie says, do I get bacon and eggs? Yeah, come on. Daryl says, I'm fine as frog hair, Annie. John Deere says, what's up, Long Wrench Garage? Hugh said, he's tall enough to eat off the grill. Yes, he is. Mike says, Annie. Annie says, or us in a no, or us it a no because I'm a Yankee.
Dirty hair.
No, she ain't gonna let it go because I told that joke about yanking the damn Yankee, and she informed me she was a Yankee and she didn't like it.
Who?
Annie, the mama bear.
Oh no.
It was just a joke, but she didn't like it. And then she won't let me live it down. Mr. Lottie says, have you seen Spotty where people slap each other? Yeah, that's stupid too. Hugh said, boxing is awesome. Idiots beating the brakes off each other for an amusement of stupid. Yeah, that's about it. And now Annie's laughing. Daryl said, is Kane fixed? Yes. Hugh said, I don't watch it though. Mike said, I can't believe Kane fits in that chair. I know he did. I wouldn't have believed it, but he sure does pull himself up to get in there. New Zealand said, might have to put longer legs on the grill. We're going to have to do something. Daryl said, good. Yeah, that was one of the stipulations that we couldn't breed them or, buy them to resell or, resell and stuff like that. And I said, no, we buy a lot of stuff here. We don't normally get rid of stuff. But no, I wasn't after pups, so I was glad it was already done. And he said, I never said I didn't like the joke. It's just I'm a Yankee and you said you hate them Yankees.
You don't.
I said, damn Yankees, the ones that come down there and don't go back, but I don't hate them. It was a joke. Hugh said, well, he's half laying on Carmen. Mr. Knight said, do you watch the world's strongest man competitions? No.
No, you don't watch nothing.
I don't do much TV. This YouTube is about the most I'll look at a screen or my TV, my phone, Now I will watch some stuff on it, but I don't have time for all that mess. Daryl says, if I ever get another dog, which I seriously doubt, she will be fixed. Hugh said, you saved $1,000 not having to fix that dog. Yep. And he said, that's basically saying you hate him. No, that's basically what you thought. That's what you took it. You were just waiting.
That's a strong word.
You were just waiting to find something to say. All right, I'm mad at him now. Because Annie probably means you're female, so that means you're just waiting for me to piss you off. New Zealand said, I've gotten the de-sex my dogs, but damn, she's expensive. $900 to get her fixed. Annie said, it's okay, I hate them too. Hugh said, no, damn Yankees is a band. Hugh said, that's right, Randy, just waiting. Jane said, oh my God, you didn't.
Did what? Say
Didn't
that?
say that.
What can I say, man? He's got a death wish. Women. It's okay, I understand that. Women.
Daryl says, where are you from again, Annie? Up in them northern hills.
Up down there.
Money said, no, we're not doing that, said Daryl. New Zealand said he did.
Huh?
Mr. Knighty said, I don't understand what news means saying Trump is tarfing the Evergreens. What does this mean? I don't know. We don't talk politics. And he said, Law, so you hate females, Yankees?
We hate them all.
I would say a joke, but you'd never let me live it down. I'll just let it go. Hugh says, sorry, little man. Lowell. And he says, Middletown. She's not from all the way up north. She's from the middle part of the town.
You know Carmen's a Yankee?
No, I am not. Do not even say that.
Oh, let's see. Mr. Knight says, I have a good joke. Long as it's clean, throw it in there. Daryl says, oh, New Yorker.
Ew.
I'm beginning to see the problem.
Right.
He said, so she's Middletown, Uptown, USA. And he said, say it, Pops. Let's see. Mr. Knighty says, no, I'm not doing that. That's not, no, that we're not reading that one. You said, in New York? Silly said, no, we're not doing that either.
Where's it Dan?
Hugh said, Lord.
Yeah,
You
well.
said, Forget airboat it, okay? 14 people, 38 thumbs up. Hey, y'all are coming in here saying stupid shit. Can you hit the like button? And he said, don't ignore me, Pops. I'm a very patient person. I will get you back. What am I ignoring? I didn't ignore you. I read the comment. I forgot it now.
You do have long nails.
Let's see. Joe says, oh, I know you're a patient person. You'll get me back. A female never forgets what you do. It's only what they do. Joe Mack said, good evening from the island of Peru. I hope you are doing well. I am doing absolutely phenomenal. I hope you are. You said a patient person? Question. What patient? What's the number? I'll look it up. Just say play it. Lucifer 666 says hello from the dark side. Lucifer 666 on the dark side. Do they have thumbs up over there? If they do, hit it for me.
Please. Please touch my lucky thingy.
Yes, ma'am. What's happening?
Let's see. Hugh said hello, Lucy. Joe Mack said Peru. Evidently I said that wrong. You know the territory of the United States? Yeah, I said it wrong. I'm sure I did. And he says, you baiting me? That's okay. No, I'm not. Not me. I wouldn't do that. I think that's wrong. Lucy said, yes, we do. I'll touch your lucky thingy. You said, I'm on the bright side of the dark side. How are you doing? New Zealand says, I might have to get that dog a bigger chair soon as he grows. We're actually going to change those 2 chairs out and put the couch up here, but Randy left and didn't help me do it.
My bad.
Let's see. Miss Robin Bucky says, dog? And me? Question mark. And he says, you hate me. Oh, hate's such a hard word. I would never hate nobody. Well,
Okay.
I don't hate you. Hell, I don't even know you. Just up here on YouTube. You've never done anything to me. Let's see. Miss Robin Bucky says, I love dogs. You said, Kane is going to need a cushy table soon. D. Herman says, hey, Shortbeard, I took a nap during the snow. I just woke up to your bald head. Well, I'm glad you made it in time. And he said, can I pet that dog? I need to pet that dog. You said, hello, Herman. Lucy says, in good Grand Pig, just ate dinner, just scrolling through, spreading positively. That's what we like here, positively being spreaded around.
Positive.
And he says, I'm a Yankee, remember? Reason enough. Ha ha. I don't know, wait a minute. Yankee? You went back, right? Oh, I have no problem with that. It's the damn Yankees I got a problem with. You said, cool deal. D. Herman said, hi, hey, Gran. We got 5 more minutes here. I need a couple of y'all to hit that likey thing so I can finish out with 40. D. Herman said, bring Cameron to the dog so we can all pet it.
They want to see the dog up there.
He's pet us
He takes after his dad, I tell you what.
He's really resting good back there. I'm going to read for a couple more minutes here. We're getting close to the end. I just went ahead and turned it around. Let's see. Hugh said, cool deal, Grant. Let's see. I just read that. And he says, I didn't back low. I'm still in Kentucky. Oh, I'm beginning to see the problem. Nah, I'm just playing. Lucifer says, left a like and sub, sir. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to continue my ventures. Well, thank you. I appreciate you liking, subscribing, and we'll subscribe back. Thank you. The Herman said, and he said, so I'm a damn Yankee. If you come down here and stayed, yes. Long as you don't try to change it, come down here and change the south to back to, like the north, you're good. I don't have no problem with that. Let's see. Jenny says, Mean Wild Dogs. Dear Herman said, I love Dog Hugs. Hugh said, that's a 90s band. Annie, New Zealand said, his bark, man, is really good. Yes. Annie's laughing. Nickel Pony says, have a great night, everyone. Wife is driving. Got to be like a spotter at NASCAR when she's driving. Gotcha. See you, Nickel Pony. Thanks for stopping in. Hugh said, dog hugs are awesome. John Deere said, good night, everybody. Bye. See you, John Deere. Thanks for stopping in. Hugh says, I have 3. D. Herman said, Nickel, I will pray for you. Lucy said, Nickel Pony laughing. Hugh said, have a great night, Jacob. Annie says, can we all agree out of all my relatives, I'm the most approachable? Well, you seem to be all right with me. I don't have a problem with you. D. Herman said, I see a sign. I see my sign, short beard. Yes, it is. Let me turn it back around here. Right there. See?
Someone up there.
Y'all see James? Yeah. Let's see. James said, Lowell, take care, Nick. Nickel, New Zealand said, see ya, Nickel. Hugh says, Annie, my ancestors came over on the Mayflower and are the North till my mom moved south in 1961. I'm a rebel now. Lucy said, I'll pray for you, Nickel. You're going to need it when it comes to time to take that exit. Jay said, you guys are brats, Randy. That was Randy's idea, not mine. Dear Herman said, I'm live streaming in the morning. Unfortunately, we won't be able to watch it in the morning. We'll be at work, but we'll see if we can check it out at some point. All right, everybody, it's fixing to, but you laughed. Well, it was funny. It's just about to turn 8 o'clock here, and everybody needs to jump over and watch the Metal Art Customs premiere. Y'all have a good day, good night, whenever you, Herman says quitter. I know, right? Y'all have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this, and y'all remember, keep it silly. Thank y'all.